Hey, I'm Foxy Grandpa. If you'd like to join me, I'm gonna talk about a movie that I recently saw, review it for you, heavy spoilers, just fair warning, and I'm gonna attempt to put on a face, because it's been a while, and yeah, I think it'll be fun. I'm very excited about today's thing. Are you guys ready? Okay, so last time we did cats, and it may or may not be the reason that I am taking a break from alcohol for a little bit. So I'm going to take a radical left turn and review Bill Osco's Alice in Wonderland. This is hardcore pornography. It's also that too. Just fair warning, you know, I'm going to try to keep this as PG-13 and YouTube friendly as I possibly can when talking about it, but yeah, Alice in Wonderland, but like in the 70s, and people are this movie is so much better than Cats. I'm gonna go put my hair up, block my eyebrows, and then I'll be right back, and I cannot wait to tell you all about this movie! It's a musical! There's original music written for this. Okay, alright. I'll be right back.
Love is the real thing, not just a mere fling. It makes the heart.
Hey guys, I've tried to make my eyebrows disappear, and I'm ready to talk about some hardcore pornography. So this particular video, it is a full-length feature film. It was made in 1975. So I love, like, it's like called like the golden age of porn or whatever, but all that like vintage 70s porn. Huge fan of it, have a huge collection of it. Very excited to see this and talk about this. This is wild, man. It's I'll say it's got way more plot than Cats ever did. Alright, so I'm gonna get started and just lay down some foundation. This is the same, was it, TV paint stick, Krylon, what is this? It's EF24. It's a little dark for me, but we're gonna make it work because it's expensive. So this movie is like it's technically called Bill Osco's Alice in Wonderland. Bill Osco was like sort of like a financier, producer of a lot of this sort of like golden age of pornography. He also did Flesh Gordon, which was famously embroiled in all sorts of litigation, not just from Universal, who had the rights to Flash Gordon, and they said that the first act was too similar to the serial, and so they had to change it for that. And then they also got in a lot of trouble because at the time in California it was legal to distribute pornography, but very much illegal to make it. Obviously things are different now, but yeah, so they were always getting like busted by the vice cops and stuff and this is Flesh Gordon I'm talking about. It's just a little background history. And so he got tired of all that, moved his production to the East Coast, and he made this film in like upstate New York. Director is Bob Townsend. The composer, because so not only is it a hardcore erotic film, but it's a musical, and it has a ton of original songs, like all written by Bucky Searles, S-E-A-R-L-E-S, Searles, Bucky Searles. Figure it out. But anyway, so he is the composer of a lot of these somewhat catchy ditties in here. Yeah, this movie's wild, man. The star of it, the woman who plays Alice, her name is Christine DeBelle. At the time, she was famous because she was a Playboy playmate. And at the time, it was very like, you don't it would like ruin your career to like do porn or whatever, and it was a big deal that like she did this, because it was also, so here's the thing about this movie, is it was released both in an X-rated and then like a triple X-rated version. Fun fact, it is originally distributed by 20th Century Fox, which like like the studio, the major studio, right? Which sounds wild, but like at the time, like Russ Meyer films, which I don't know if you've ever seen. There's like a lot of like boobs and TNA and stuff. Not like a ton of nudity, a little bit, but like, I mean, not pornography. So this movie, there's an X version where, let's see, there's a lot of nudity, but there's no like sex acts or penetration. So the DVD had both versions. I only obviously watched the triple X version, so I don't know exactly how much it shows, but you know, it was enough to like, so X movies were big at the time. Adult movies were having like a moment. And so I think they were trying to like maybe see if they can get in on that a little bit here. And there's a rumor, and like a lot of the people I was doing a lot of research for this. Apparently, the studio wasn't aware that a triple X version of this existed, and were quite surprised when it came out later. So that's kind of fun. Obviously, they did not do anything like this ever again. But it was pretty successful at the time. It's like, so here's the thing. It's like, yeah, there's like things going inside of things, but it's really kind of adorable and sweet in a lot of ways. Like it's real cute. Alright, anyway, so the main actor, Christine DeBelle, she was a Playboy playmate, and she actually made the transition to mainstream film. She was in I think Meatballs is the first thing I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, she's still like a working actress. Has like a husband and kids, like an environmentalist and stuff. Like, yeah, like rock on, Christine. And then so also I noticed Terry Hall is in this. She is in a lot of these movies. She is fantastic. Oh, and Alan Novak, I recognize him. I feel like I've seen him in like every porn that came out at this, or excuse me, every porn that came out at this period of time. He plays the Mad Hatter. Yeah, he also was the title role in Flash Gordon. Fun fact. Alright, so like the vibe of this is very like low budget Sid and Marty Krofft, but like less puppets and more like gauzy half shirts and like lots of dicks out, you know. Is sort of the vibe of this, right? So now I'm just going with the Ben Nye Hazelnut contour and highlight time. Alright, so we open and we're in like regular times. Alice, our title character, is a librarian putting away books, and immediately, you know, she's just trying to do her job. This like dude comes barging in, and I guess it's like somebody who's been like trying to ask her out a whole bunch. His name is like William, I guess, but his shirt says his name is Craig, and the reason that I know this is because for some reason Alice is like, why, I hate it when you wear a shirt that doesn't have your name on it, which seems like a weird complaint. Anyway, I don't really know. Their relationship seems to be like, are they or aren't they? He seems a little angry when she rejects him. He kind of sounds like he just wants to like get laid or whatever, and she's very like, as we find out later, is a virgin, and is like, no, 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 get away from me. I don't really know what I'm doing with my nose here, but we're having an experiment. All right, now I'm gonna go in with my Ben Nye white also, because this is what I got, and so this is what I'm gonna use. Also, before this, I did it off screen. Woo! Everything's great. I did this off screen because I just forgot. I'm still using up that Laura Mercier. What is this? Pure Canvas Primer. It's fine. I probably wouldn't buy it, but it's fine enough for me to use up right now. Alright. Let's highlight. Okay, so back to the movie. So Alice is a librarian. William/Craig keeps asking her out. He refuses. He like leaves in a huff. She's like, I'm not that kind of girl. I need a brush. But yeah, so then immediately, like, it's like first 5 minutes, we burst right into our first song. Alice starts singing a song about how like she's been too busy growing up to live. And there's this like amazing like dolly shot, like she's like standing up at the desk and it like wraps around, and like cinematography and production value, like, okay, so for a regular movie it seems very low budget. It's like somebody filmed it in their like parents' backyard in the forest. But for a pornography, man, this is the amount of care that went into making this. It's really nice to see. And then all of a sudden, guess who appears behind her? Also, we see the Alice in Wonderland book. She's putting it on the shelf like earlier, you know, whatever. The White Rabbit shows up. He goes, you know, I'm late. And then she's like, where are you going? He hops through a mirror that happens to be on the wall of the library. Sure, why not? Of course, Alice follows him through. So Alice falls down this hall. She ends up in this like little like room-ish situation with like a big door that won't open, but like then a tiny door that will, but she can't get through. There's like a little cabinet, and next to the, you know, of course, the bottle that says drink me, there is the most adorable little puppy. Like, you got a little pussy. He's like, oh, ah. I don't know why he's there, but it was really great. There should be more random puppies in life. Oh yeah, so she picks up the vial and is like, what the hell? Downs it and then of course shrinks, but ha ha ha, because this is a different kind of Alice movie. She shrinks, but all of her clothes stay the same. So she's like naked in her little thing. I guess she finds like a weird little like towel or handkerchief on the floor. She's like barely covered, you know, covers up her stuff or whatever. Heads for the little door and heads outside. All of a sudden, we're like in nature. I mean, I will say it's beautiful. Wherever they shot this in upstate New York, it's really gorgeous. You know, she's running through the forest or whatever. She falls into the water. So Alice is like running in the forest. She gets to the edge of like a pond. Is like, oh no, and like falls in and like yells, I can't swim. Which is like a thing that comes back later on. Then she gets rescued by a few creatures, and we get our first little title card. So this whole movie is sort of divided up. I think there's like 7, 8. Like they're not like numbered chapters, but they're just sort of probably titles of like the little vignette you're about to see, right? And so it has like something that's written in old script, and then there's something gets written in sort of like a handwritten font underneath that's sort of like saucy and ha ha ha. We're making a sex joke because people are about to. First of all, so this first little vignette is titled Alice Makes New Friends, and then it gets written and then the little writing goes, and gets a lickin'. So she meets 4 people. Obviously very heteronormative movie. There is like a little, there is a fun little gay joke that comes, not at the gay person's expense, but like but just like, it's mentioned that it exists in this world at least a little bit, later on, but it is straight people and then like women doing it. So it's, you know, obviously made for the straight male eye. That is my one complaint. I feel like if there was some man-on-man stuff, I feel like this would be a way more complete movie I could recommend. So that's my only sort of hesitation. But anyway, so the friend she meets, we've got 3 women, 1 dude. The women, and they're all wearing like these weird like bodysuits, like full on like just like dancer bodysuits. Like the women's are green, and the guys is brown. Their names are, and I couldn't get them exactly. There's like Boogaloo, Moogaloo, Oogaloo, and I think the guy's name is like Scrub. I think they're supposed to be like animals, cause like in addition to their bodysuits, they're wearing these like animal hats with like little ears, and they have like animal paws on their hands, and they have like animal makeup, and then there's like around their waist like a tail tied that's like hanging off the back. Then they sing a big musical number, dancing, singing, there's like tumbling, cartwheels. It's called If You Ain't Got Dreams, You Ain't Got Nothing. If you ain't got dreams, you ain't got nothing. Something. I can't sing. There's also not a ton of hardcore, so like you gotta wait for it a little bit. but it gets real weird. So if you hang in, if you're into that, you may be rewarded. So yeah, they do all these tumbles or anything, and then Alice is like, I'm all wet. How am I gonna dry off? Do you guys have a towel? And then they laugh, and then there's some weird joke about how like they used to have a towel, but a hotel stole it from them once. There's a lot of sort of like, I guess, dad-ish jokes going on in this movie. But anyway, of course, they're like, well, we have a way to dry you off. And so they like lay her down. There's all this very like gentle, sensual music. They like pull out her boobs and they're like, what are those? Even though like the women obviously have breasts. So that was so I guess that was like plot-wise confusing. So okay, so they send her off. She goes to find the rabbit. Oh, and then so we get our first like, if you don't consider that previous scene weird, our first one I consider like truly odd scene. And she's like comes to a waterfall and I guess is like sitting down and taking a break or whatever, chilling. She's sitting on like a big rock or whatever, and then all of a sudden, apparently the rock can talk, which is fun. I'm gonna put a little like, what is this? Kim Chi didn't see that. I just want to like climb my eyes a little bit. Anyway, so Alice sits on this rock. It starts talking and it's like, oh, I like it when you sit on me. Basically talks her through while she masturbates and like, yeah, and like touches herself and gets off and she's sitting on this rock and the rock's like, oh yeah, baby. Like, and it is. I mean, like, that happened. That, I watched that happen. I can't say it's not kind of hot, but it's weird. Of course, just as she finishes, the white rabbit appears behind her. Then they start traveling together. We get our next little scene card, which says, Alice is invited to tea, and then ... and pulls a boner. And, you know, the white rabbit takes her to meet the Mad Hatter at the tea party. It felt very, like, mechanical. Like, he's like, okay, this is happening now, I guess. It felt very that. I don't know if he was tired or what was going on, but, yeah. And the worst part about it, too, is that it's dead silence. Like, most of the sex scenes and almost every sex scene in this movie has like some sort of like background musical score or something. This is dead silence. All you hear is birds, and those birds sound effing loud, man. It's just like tweet, 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 tweet. And there's like the thing that she's doing to him is not even that loud. So it's very like, I don't know, it's very like quiet. A very quiet BJ. Very weird. So yeah, so then I guess he finishes and then they all, I guess, depart together, and continue on their journey, which I guess now they're just like going to like see the queen or something for some reason. Oh, there's like a ball or something I think they're going to. I don't know. The motivations are thin, but I would argue still far superior than any character motivation in Cats, because nobody had a motivation, because nobody did anything, because there was no plot. At least this has something. It has something. Ugh. But then we get to the next part, which is also so then we get to our next little title card. Oh yeah, sorry, this powder I was using was the same powder I use, I feel like, all the time. Should have said something. It's Kim Chi Puff Puff Pass. This is suntan that I just put all over. And now I'm about to take the extra one no color just to like put underneath in some of the highlight areas, not only to catch the fall under from my eyes. Anyway, so the next title card says Alice learns you can't keep a good man down, and then the down gets crossed up and it puts up. In case you didn't catch the reference, this is a Humpty Dumpty situation. So apparently Humpty Dumpty has fallen off the wall, and now he cannot get an erection, and it's tragic. Nobody can figure out what to do. You know, the Mad Hatter's there, the White Rabbit's there, and then we get this sequence where these two like sexy nurses, they're basically just wearing nurse hats and like a gauzy shirt and like heels, like nothing else. The costumes are very minimal for the most part in this movie. So yeah, so then the two sexy nurses come and we get a whole little sequence with them. They do like a all strip tease, and they're wearing these like white granny panties that they like for Humpty Dumpty, and he's like meh. He looks down at his penis and no success. So and one of these nurses is Terry Howell. This is actually a really great and super hot sequence. And then like they start basically like having sex in front of him and everything. But even after that, does nothing for him. Alright, so before we get into the next part of this whole Humpty Dumpty saga, I'm gonna be using for at least I think let's start with like a little like bright sort of like limey yellow in the middle. I don't know, let's see what happens. This is the Kimchi Cheek. Wow, I just cannot keep using this brand. Virgin Mojito palette, if you can see. And I'm gonna be using limoncello. So then, of course, naturally, the Mad Hatter, despite what I would consider very unenthusiastic reaction, is like, oh, you should try Alice. She's really great at keeping things up. And I was like, really, dude? Because it seemed like you could care. Whatever. Anyway, Alice, obviously being the helpful friend that she is, decides to do so. And guess what? Surprise, surprise! Humpty can get an erection again. Woohoo! Yay! Everyone's happy. I should take something a step back that I almost forgot because this is a musical. Before the two nurses did their sexy dance, they were part of a big musical number that was Can't Get His Dingling Up. Can't get his dingling up. It was it's pretty great. Afterwards, you know, after that, Alice does her thing and he finishes or whatever. Then there's a big musical number that goes, he got his dingling up, and then there's this whole like weird part where, you know, those like sing-alongs where the words are at the bottom and the ball bounces so you can sing along. There's like a little sing-along part, so like if you like to sing along with, you can. So apparently they couldn't find an actor to play Humpty Dumpty, so it's the composer of all of this music, Bucky Seals, I can't pronounce his last name, and yeah, he's wearing like a big courtier outfit, a ruffle around his neck, he's got like a big bald cap on. He looks cray. Then everything's great, and then there's this like little button at the end where Humpty gets back on top of the wall. Why they keep putting him back up there when he's falling, I don't know, but you know, I ain't in charge of Wonderland. Alice, the Mad Hatter, and the White Rabbit continue on, and we get our next little title card, which is Tweedledum is stuck on Tweedledee. So we get to see Tweedledum and Tweedledee, which are one is a man, one is a woman. They're both wearing like the same blue shirt. No pants, no underwear, no sock. I believe they call it like Donald Ducking it. They look like basically twins. And they're like rolling around, like making out. They sing a song that goes, we'll get together especially for you. And it's not just implied that they might be brother and sister, it is explicit. Like there are multiple moments where they're like doing stuff and they're like, isn't it so great to be brother and sister? So that's happening in this movie. And Alice follows them up to, I guess, this like gazebo in the middle of the woods for some reason. Tweedledum and Tweedledee have like a weird combination of like pillow fight and sex. And then Alice just sits on a nearby chair and then just like watches like this the whole time. And there's this like swelling romantic music playing. But yeah, and then at the end it's a little disappointing. The dude finishes and it's like does his penis just sneeze? It's like nothing came out. And then they sing a big song in there that's called Love is the Real Thing. And then Alice is inspired now to find love. Oh. So this is the Star Wars Mandalorian The Child palette from ColourPop. Like, lots of, like, fun, warm neutrals. Alright, so I think I'm gonna use a little bit of, Just Like a Tatooine. So, we move on from Tweedledum and Tweedledee, and then we see our next title card, which goes, what do you do on a hot night, with a K in front of night, in Wonderland? Ha ha ha, right? So then the three of them come upon a woman riding, I guess, on this dude on the ground, and Alice walks up, all concerned about, like, are you guys hurt? Oh my god, is everything okay? And the lady's like, get out of here. Then they sing this whole song that's called What's a Nice Girl Like You Sitting on a Night Like That. She's still on him the whole time while they're singing this. And then this other knight rolls up, basically pulls her and yells, "You cheating bitch!" Which is a little aggressive, but then pulls up the other knight. Turns out he was talking to him. Ha ha ha, they're lovers, and he's cheating on him with the girl. I'm gonna try some of this droid protocol, see if I can, in the corners, see if I can save this monstrosity. And so then we just move on to our next little title card, which is Meanwhile at Royal Court. And then so we finally get to see the Royal Court that, like, has been, like, alluded to all movie. We meet with, at the time they don't introduce it as such, but we find out later is, like, the judge of Wonderland. He's like this short little pudgy dude with glasses. He's got like 4 half-naked women dancers, and they do this big song and dance number. That just goes like, everybody loves cars, like, everybody loves cars. There's a big dance number, lots of thrusting. He keeps trying to make like jokes about getting sex, but it seems like he doesn't get that much. I don't know. It's all very strange. Lots of like splits and high kick. A lot of work went into the choreography for this, for sure. After that, we get our another quick. So the title cards come pretty quick at this point in the movie now. The next title card is Alice plays the palace. The king is there, and the queen comes too. So then finally we meet the king. You know, it's all like, my rod and my staff welcome you. And then so there's like a random 4-poster bed just sitting in the middle of the forest, because why not? Right? So yeah, so Alice and the king are sitting on this bed. They actually have like a really like sort of like cool conversation about what is purity and like all that. And she's like, I want to be pure for my husband, and then he's like, what is this pure? I don't understand it. You look clean to me, which I think is really, I don't know. It was a really like, I didn't expect that sort of level of you know, not like, hey, let's not slut shame people. From like a pornographic movie, but yeah, it was a welcome situation. So we finally meet the queen, who like has been like mentioned all movie, right? She is everything. She's wearing this like massive like headdress, a garter belt and stockings, high heels, and literally nothing else. She is the best. She just storms in there, like she does own the place, I suppose. And you know, she walks in on like the king giving Alice, and the queen goes off with her head, and Alice is like, I don't want to die, and she's like, no, I mean, give me but Alice refuses, and is like, no, I guess she doesn't want to be pressured into it, I don't know, whatever, which I guess is fair. So then Alice demands a trial, and they're like, well, it's in the book, and like the Mad Hatter pulls out like the copy of Alice in Wonderland, points inside. It's very like meta in joke. It's like, it says right here we have to give her a trial. And so here's the trial essentially. If she is declared guilty, she has to go down on the queen. If she is declared innocent, she has to go down on the judge. It's porno. So we get the trial. Now you may be asking, what is Alice on trial for? What crime could she have possibly committed? Oh, but wait. Because there's a whole giant musical song and dance number with like almost everybody that's been in the movie so far that's about to tell you what. Okay. Alice's crime and the song they're in, not having love. That's your crime. They sing it loud and they sing it proud, and they tell her she doesn't have love, she's not finding love, she's not trying to find love. And for that, she is on trial. So yeah, so of course, like in the regular book, they're like, oh yeah, we do the sentence first, and then that way we can figure out how the trial should go. And Alice is, of course, declared guilty. And then we get our next little title card, which is just called Fun in Wonderland. And it is basically just a giant orgy. And, like, mind you, so there's, like, a feast, right? There's, like, food everywhere at this, like, royal court. They're still outside. Everything's outside in the woods. But, like, and so, like, people are, like, doing all sorts of stuff, but, like, someone's getting, like, plowed, and they're, like, eating, like a turkey leg. Like, somebody's, like, going down on somebody, and somebody puts, like, their tea on their, like, butt, and, like, he's using it as a, it's, like, it is just bananas. It is just, there's stuff happening all over the place, man. It's a wild ride. Alright, so she's guilty. There's a big orgy with everyone else, but meanwhile, and actually we get a little title card to this effect. It says, meanwhile at royal court, Alice gets bathed by these like two like half naked women, and then of course she goes down on the queen. And meanwhile, while this is happening, the two of the girls that were bathing her are, like, having sex outside of their, like, weird little, like, tent or something. We randomly cut to them. I don't know. It's very strange. The queen immediately, like, falls asleep afterwards, and the White Rabbit and the Mad Hatter sneak in, and they're like, we're gonna get you out! And they're trying to, like, I guess, get Alice out of there. So they start running, the queen wakes up, and then this, like, very, like, comic chase montage scene ensues. They're running through the forest, the whole of the court is chasing Alice. We see her pass by everybody that we've met so far. You know, very like classic end of Alice in Wonderland, right? They get to the edge of the water where Alice had originally fallen in, and she's like, I can't swim though. And they're like, well, too bad. And they just like shove her in. And she's like sort of drowning or whatever. But then all of a sudden we wake up, or she wakes up, and she's back in the library, laying on the floor, but still in her weird little, like, sheer Alice dress. She's laying on the floor. I guess the library's, like, closing, or it's the end of the day. It looks like more time has passed. And then William/Craig dude, apparently comes back. I guess he, like, feels bad for being a jerk, which he kind of was. So that's nice. And, like, wants to apologize to her. She's all like, oh, no. Forget about that. Let's she's like ready to go. So she sleeps with William/Craig on the library floor. I mean, but it's like full on, we see all the things, money shot, you know, whole thing. But it's like very like romantic swelling music and stuff. And then we get like, oh my god, the end song. Alright, we're gonna add a little bit of this the Force glitter here in the corner, see if we can jazz it up a bit here. But yeah, so like then we get this like lovely like ending song that goes, there's a whole new world waiting out there for you, girl. And we see her, and like I guess this is her now like sexually liberated or whatever, which consists of scenes of her riding around topless on horseback, doing naked slide down a waterfall, and then frolicking naked in the forest with William/Craig. I loved it. I thought it was adorable, super fun. I had a good time. We see them like walking down a hill, and they pass by two very familiar faces, and it's the actors that play the White Rabbit and the Mad Hatter. And if you get the DVD, there's this like fun little like vignette thing. It's like 45 minutes long or something. It's just like I guess visiting the movie 30 years later. I guess they couldn't get most of the people who were in it. They're either like dead or, you know, didn't want to be in a featurette for porn. But yeah, so they get like the guy who played the White Rabbit. Oh, this is Kimchi Cheek. I think it's a bronzer. Okay, we're gonna use, I think this is just like a Sephora matte blush, True Kiss. It's like sort of like a pinky lavender. Let's go for this. The White Rabbit especially has a lot of interesting things to say about the production. Like I guess for instance like for those of you that don't know, like in the 70s during this like golden age of porn, it was really common for people to be actors in porn but not like go all the way or do like perform sex acts. Like they would just be like, you know, the guy that like let someone in and was like, oh, I'll leave you two alone. Like there was like a lot of that. It was actually fairly common. It was actually less common that actors would be willing to like, you know, do the thing. Unlike today. So he was one of those. So he just sort of like, yeah, like the white rabbit doesn't sleep with anyone. He doesn't have sex with anyone in the entire film. So I made a real choice with these eyebrows. Let's put on some lashes, I guess. Okay, I think I'm gonna do a dark. This is a NYX Suede matte lip liner in Stone Fox, and then this is black lipstick Kat Von D Slayer. Okay, that's an aggressive lip. Cool. Let's add a little gloss. LA Colors High Shine. Alright, maybe I can fix this with a little black glitter because this is aggressive. This is just like chunky body glitter. Huh? Okay. Yeah? Well, how about I throw on a wig, throw on a look, and we'll come back with our final review, yeah? Alright. Yeah? Not so terrible once it's all together. Yeah. Right? I know this was a story about an erotic and adorable Alice in Wonderland movie. And I am dressed like a biker, like Morticia gone biker BDSM sub. I feel good. Alright, so I'm gonna give this movie 3 out of 5 creepy erotic talking rocks. Because it was super fun. It had a coherent plot, somewhat. The acting was... it was fine. But man, the original music, the songs, the just breaking out into songs, and all the like the half-naked people doing big choreographed numbers before they start doing stuff. The dad jokes are, thank you for coming along with me on this journey. I hope you had fun. I certainly did. Check out Bill Osco's Alice in Wonderland if you can. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, day, whenever you're watching this. Please like and subscribe. Bye.